Hey everyone, it's Sean with Troxel Services, and today you're going to watch a review of the Hustler Raptor XD, the newer model to the SD that came out in 2021. And we're doing a 200-hour review on the Hustler Raptor XD. We're also doing close to a 1,000-hour review on the Hustler SD, of which we have 3, and we also have 1 of the XD. So in addition to a almost 1,000-hour review of the Hustler Raptor SD, we're doing a 200-hour review of the Hustler Raptor XD, and we're doing a review to compare both of them. So if you are in the market for either one of these mowers, a used SD or a brand new XD, you've come to the right place and the right review. Please subscribe or comment and let us know if you have any questions. Enjoy the video.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Seth here at Troxel Services, and in today's video we're going to be going through a review of the Hustler Raptor. We have an XD model and we got 3 SD models. We're going to go through them just real quick. I'm going to show you the hours and some of the maintenance and some of the things we had to replace and some pros and cons as well. So let's get into it. Alright, so the first mower we're going to be showing you is a 2019 Hustler Raptor SD. This is a 54-inch. All these mowers have the Kawasaki engine, the FR691V. Kawasaki, we really like using these. They're a beefy engine. Very little issues with these overall. Very powerful. So we really like Kawasaki. I'm going to start down here at a con, just real quick. We've got a gas tank under every seat of the mower. And unfortunately for the Hustler Raptors, they don't really show you the level other than this right here. So yeah, it just gets real dusty in these areas. It's hard to tell where the gas is at. So sometimes you just need to fill up before you get going. So on this one, we've got just north of 950 hours on this mower. And I will say we've had to replace several of the transmission brackets, which I'll show you down here. So this is the transmission bracket, this guy right here. And this is a common weak point in a lot of the Hustler Raptor SD models. And so over time, I'd say about every probably 200 hours or so, we've had to replace the brackets, whether it be one or both of them. And so that was pretty common for a lot of the SD models. So another common problem that we've had with some of these SD models is the drive belt, not the deck belt, but the drive belt. We've had some issues with it slipping off or getting kind of chewed up or cut up. And really, we've only noticed that after about the 500, 400 hour mark. So yeah, the drive belt is located under the engine, and sometimes we have some issues with it coming off. So we've had to replace those every so often. So in case you didn't know, the Hustler Raptors are typically around 600 pounds each. So sometimes you'll have some pros to that, sometimes you'll have some cons. The cons to that would be sometimes getting stuck in areas, maybe on a slant or a hill. Sometimes with it being so light, it has a hard time catching a grip on the ground. So every now and then you got to be a little patient with it, but that's from the beginning of the life towards however many hours you got on it. They've lasted for several years, a good long time, as well as the front tires. And then every now and then you're going to have to replace your deck belt depending on how much debris you get up in there, how much it tampers with the belt itself. We like to keep the air filters pretty clean, so we regularly clean these out. And keep in mind, we use these for several hours a day most of the time throughout the summer, and even throughout the winter as well. So we're constantly using these, and we keep these up, keep these well maintained. Overall, we've had to replace some things, but on the 2019 mower, it served us pretty well, and as you can see, we're almost close to 1,000 hours on it. So another thing we've had to replace just over the course, maybe once or twice, is these little elbow joints right here that control the drive for the mower. Sometimes these will pop off or something like that, and we'll have to replace these. They're not hard to replace at all. They just come on and off. And so every now and then, if you have an issue with that, you might even have to tighten them up somewhere. But yeah, these little joints right here, sometimes they come off over time, and it's a common issue. It's easy to fix. Another thing for the Hustler Raptor is we always replace and then change out the oil on these. It's pretty easy. As you can tell up here, you can check to see where your oil is at, as well as the oil filter down here. And then it's kind of hard to see, but right in here you've got where you can release your oil. This is where the oil comes out, and there's a little bolt right in here. So we like to change the oil. It's recommended on these mowers every 100 hours to change the oil. and every 200 hours to change the oil filter. So yeah, other than that, really just the transmission brackets and the drive belt are really the only main things we've had to maintain throughout the course of its life. So that's for the SD model. All right, so for the XD model of the Hustler Raptor, we've got almost 200 hours on this guy. So I will start off by saying one of the biggest issues that we had, and we've seen in some other reviews from other users, is the tires. So the stock tires on the Hustler Raptor XD do not look like this. They got a little bit more of a mud tire look to them. So we found out that they just really didn't catch the gravel and ground and the terrain as well. We've seen a little bit of progression in doing that. So one of my personal favorite features of the XD compared to the SD models is the deck and how you were able to raise and lower the deck. It's very simple. It even gives you a little chart here of the levels and the inches on the deck right here. So you simply just push up with it. You can choose whatever deck level you'd like, and then you would pull this lever right here and drop the deck. So here's a comparison to the SD model. As you can see, it just gives you a labels in by letter. They don't really show you the numbers or the inches on them. And take through the hole right here, set at whatever level. It's nothing too hard or anything. I just really like the XD model and how they upgraded that. So the XD is the exact same engine. It's the Kawasaki FR691V, same engine as the SDs. Another issue that we've had with the XD, just from the day we got it, was it likes to grind a lot when you go to turn and use the bars here. So when you go forward or backwards, it's not a very smooth sound. It's very jerky and very sensitive. I don't know if a lot of people have had issues with it like that, but we've had, and we just haven't adjusted it. We've just kind of let it be, thinking that maybe over time it would kind of smoothen out and kind of wear and kind of break it in, if you would. And that hasn't been the case. After 200 hours, we still have a very sensitive throttle, if you will, with the XD model. I don't know if that's a big issue or not. It's just kind of not something we're used to using the SD models. They're pretty smooth and they like to turn real good, but with this one it's real jumpy. So that's another issue we've had with this. So one of the biggest pros to the XD model is the brackets that we had the issues with on the SD models. They did upgrade them to where they're a lot more beefier. As you can tell down here, you can see just there's a lot more metal to them. They're built better, and so you shouldn't have any issues as well as the wheel bracket as well. So you shouldn't have any issues with the transmission brackets breaking or damaging for probably a long time as well. And another thing dealing with the bracket, the way that they did it is they made the frame one piece, and it's just very stiff. So a lot of times you'll find that with the XD model, you'll find that it doesn't really bounce very well. It's very stiff, and so that's part of having the bracket the way it is that there's not a lot of give to when you're driving on a bumpy terrain or anything like that. And so some people like that, some people don't. Again, compared to the SD model, it's a lot more stiff, it's a lot more jittery and firm, as well as like we talked about with the throttle. Some people like it, some people don't, so you'd really just have to decide on your own after test driving them. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. We do check them regularly, and we'd be more than happy to respond to any questions or comments that you have on the Hustler Raptor. Please like and subscribe to the video, and we'll see you next time.